Hello and welcome to another episode of What the Fuck Moments in Manga and Anime. I was sick all week, so let's just talk about what I was reading in that time. A short and sweet story called The Prince in His Dark Days. Everybody's gonna be screaming out similarities in the comments, so I'm just gonna describe it. It's Ouran High School Host Club, without the host club. And more family drama. Yeah, so over here we have high school girl Etsuko. She's quiet, she's good at school, but everybody treats her like she's the plague. She also lives in poverty with her drunken shit stain of a father, which means she oftentimes has to hustle creepy old men for money. Until one day a fancy black car rolls up and 3 high school hotties get out. Rich boy Itaru and his relative Ryo, as well as their friend Nobunari. And they usher Etsuko into the car. They drive her to Itaru's house where she is understandably freaking out. But all Itaru wants is to try on her uniform. And it is then that they realize that the resemblance between the two of them is uncanny. And then they just send her home, understandably weirded out. But the next day Ryo shows up and he's like, hey, Itaru's missing. So he's like, you know what? I want to pay you a shit ton of money to pretend to be his stand-in. She's like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. And she cuts off all her hair. So it turns out that Itaru is about to become of age. And at that time will be the reading of his father's will. Of course, not only is he looking to inherit a lot of money, but also a lot of stress from running a company. Naturally, he just said, fuck this, and peaced right on out. Yeah, but they're hoping that they can find him before the reading of the will, but until then, Etsuko's gonna fill in. And since this is all Ryo's idea, he is the one who is teaching her the ways of the rich and fancy. While she is able to trick Itaru's classmates and his mother, there are several people who see through the facade. It could be how she carries herself, or it could be because Itaru's blonde and she has black hair, and they didn't bother to dye that. And I guess they just didn't think anybody would question it. Kind of like in Yu-Gi-Oh, where Yugi suddenly grows like a 1.5 feet whenever the pharaoh takes over and nobody says anything. Anyway, eventually we find out that Ryo is actually Itaru's half-brother. They both have the same father, and even though Ryo never met the guy, he wants to make sure that Itaru is well taken care of and that he has everything he needs, and obviously having a lot of money and a successful company is going to be everything he could ever want. This is what Itaru wants, right? Anyway, in volume 2, we find Itaru, and he is living his best life at a drag bar dressed as a woman. He's hustling money out of desperate men, and he is loving every minute of it. Back when he was dating women, Itaru realized that he loves dressing like one. It's his comfort, and that's just what he wants to do, but he knows he can't do that if he's following the family way. Anyway, that was only to volume 2, so let me know if you want to hear more. It's a little hard to follow at some points, but for something I found on the used rack, I was surprised in how much I liked it.